She was the one that made choices. Janelle's the one that made choices. They handed him to me and said, we don't want to spend time with him, basically. He's had wives reject him affection-wise because they are uncomfortable or they don't like it. That's not who they are. I'm sorry, but if you're rejecting someone's affection, your spouse, I don't see how that's going to help your relationship.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Monday, January 9th, 2023, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Okay, that last night was the season 17 tell-all part 3 of Sister Wives, and it was the final episode of the season. And wow, they saved the final I guess rebuttals or the final fury for last, because this episode was filled with a lot of concerning sound clips and just admissions. And I think I was the most surprised by Robyn's behavior. Yeah, Robyn went next level. She got kind of she got serious, and it was ugly. I think a lot of fans saw the real Robyn yesterday, and it was not cute. And we learned things about Robyn and Kody's relationship where, while people claim they're soulmates, I think this is a transactional relationship. So the episode really did start off with the last week where Kody was really refusing and started dancing around his relationship with Robyn and not wanting to talk about her. And it started with the same thing where, wanting to ask him, like, how do you think about Robyn, and him not wanting to say anything. And when Suki finally asks him about whether or not he finds she's the favorite wife, he denies that that's the case. He says that he finds favor with the people that don't play the games that the others play, the ones that give him what he wants and placate him and give him what he needs. Kind of like what Janelle had said. Seriously. Robyn, for her part, she went low, really low, in such ugly ways I've never seen. This first video today, we're just going to talk about the first section, so that just the very first section of the episode before they went to commercial break. That's literally all we're talking about for this video. So we're going to talk about Miss Robyn basically dragging the women for their weight gain and not giving Kody what he needed affection-wise. Yeah, she pulled a Michelle Duggar. But before we dive into today's topic, can you do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up? Subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed, and turn those notifications on so you know when I go live and new content loads. Also, make sure to leave some comments if you have something to say. And as always, share this video with your friends. So the episode started off right off the bat with Suki sharing the clip of just different conversations Kody had had with Janelle and with Christine about Robyn, and how he was, basically wanting Janelle to act more like Robyn, and Christine saying that he favored Robyn and that the favorite wife is really the difference here. Now, Kody scoffed at this, and he refused to acknowledge that Robyn was his favorite wife. Instead, he said he found favor with a woman that basically gave him what he wanted. Check it out.
Is looking at that as some kind of unfairness. That's the danger of polygamy. Be the kind of person that's giving and loving, okay?
Is Robyn the favorite wife?
What she has done as a person, the sacrifices that she's made, the games that she hasn't played. It's not about a favorite. It's about finding favor.
So a lot of people will watch the show and they'll automatically think that Kody and Robyn have this soulmate type relationship, and they are just this wholly in love and so enmeshed and perfect together. And what he says there is not what you would say about someone that you are in a soulmate relationship with and that you love unconditionally. That's not what you would say. In fact, it's not. Christine goes on to say that she feels like they are a soulmate and she didn't realize there was more to a relationship. But even her seeing this, this is her first framework. I can tell Christine right now that this is not that of a soulmate relationship, in my opinion. This is Kody basically saying that as long as a wife is willing to play the game and give me what I want and not do what I don't like and do what I like and keep sweet, then it's fine. So Robyn's willing to play the game, but she plays the game in a way that's very manipulative and conniving to the other wives. She plays games like developing reasons why Kody needs to do things, like her saying that that Kody needed to become the father of her kids. Why? They had a father. Why? Because then she could become the legal wife and have an excuse to be married to him, right? Or how about, the fact that she claimed that she didn't need this big house, but then she didn't have any problems with the big house. And then she always says that she doesn't need the house and she didn't want the house, but yet she did. Or how about way back when all the COVID stuff happened and it was very clear that Robyn had been the most paranoid about the situation. She had designated herself high risk because she once had pneumonia. I'm not kidding. And then said her kid was high risk, Solomon, because he had RSV when he was like a toddler. If that were the case, every child would have been high risk, and that's just not true. So because of that, she designated herself as high risk, putting herself in a position where Kody had to be with her to protect her and save her. Damsel in distress. She played the game. On top of that, Kody had to save their jobs because how else is Kody going to afford his lavish lifestyle and reward the woman that doesn't play games? Here's the thing. The other wives had been with him for over, 20 years and 16 years by the time Robyn came in. They were tired of the games. Maybe they just didn't want to play it anymore. So Kody and Robyn's relationship isn't about favorites. It's about Kody and Robyn playing each other to get what they want. Does that make sense? Do you agree with me? But the interesting thing here is that after this, Christine has a completely different position. Check it out.
For years, that woman was so loyal.
And do you think that's just
That's
so
triggered me.
unfair
It's ridiculous.
and triggering for not only you, but to Janelle to hear that?
Oh, how can it not be? It's ridiculous. Like, it's obvious where you want to spend your time then. I mean, come on.
So, it's interesting because she has a really good point, Christine. Janelle was super, super loyal to Kody. And even leading up to the COVID situation, she was the only wife that was vehemently supporting his idea to have one house. She was all about it. And she had always spoken very kindly of him and did not speak negatively. Even when she spoke to Christine leading up to their split, she was also always she would defend Kody when Christine would feel upset, not Christine. But here's the thing. I rewatched seasons 15 and 16, not fully, but for the most part, just to see and kind of refresh my memory about the COVID situation. And what I noticed right off the bat when I rewatched it was the framework of what we know about the pandemic now versus what we knew then. And yes, there was a sense of panic by Robyn and Kody, but it didn't match their overall personalities when you know that they're not very medicine oriented. They don't believe in it. They don't take it seriously. Cody's a freedom person. Gabe even tried to put that out there. He didn't get vaccinated. So his paranoia about it seemed very severe compared to what he actually believed, right? And you realize that a lot of it had to do with them saving their jobs. TLC put in a lot of restrictions about filming, and he was trying to save their jobs for the purpose of the show. But on top of that, you also notice that Janelle has this framework of, okay, I'm going to live my life. And she's more in the lines of how Kody probably would be, but wasn't because of the show, if that makes sense. And I'm going to, but she still respected the CDC guidelines. She still did all of the things required. She didn't travel extensively. And the only thing that she wouldn't do was kick her kids out in the middle of a pandemic. She wouldn't. Gabe and Garrison were both working. Garrison couldn't stop working just because of the pandemic. She couldn't kick him out to try to find a place to live when it was a economic recession and housing was hard to come by. There was so much at the time that was so unknown that it's understandable that she didn't want to make these hard choices. Not to mention that by this point, she and Kody became more and more estranged. And the more estranged she became from Kody, the more time she spent with her kids and probably had time to see their points of view. I think that when I looked back on it, honestly, there was a lot of resistance from Christine, but it was Janelle that was actually more resistant oppositionally to Kody. There were more fights with Janelle and the kids than there were with Christine and Kody. Christine's separation from Kody was a lot quieter. She didn't have those kind of conversations or confrontations with Kody at all, whereas Janelle and Kody were fighting. So it's not surprising to me that Janelle's leaving, because she would have been the first one I would have thought would have left before Christine. But again, she was loyal. She just didn't agree with him on this one thing. And if your entire relationship is built on, we can't have a single disagreement and then it's over, and if we have the single disagreement, I'm not going to pick you, that's a transactional relationship. And, you can't blame Janelle for kind of waking up to the fact that I'm done with this. That's just my opinion.
Hey, loyal, kiss the ring, and then we'll be good. Be loyal to me, and then we're good.
Have you not been loyal?
I thought I'd been loyal, and I thought Christine had been loyal. I feel like, and my children feel like, he has been disproportionate in the amount of time that he spends there. Regardless, there's this undertone of do what I want you to do, and then I can love you.
I think with Janelle, she sees the bigger picture. I think Christine is really hurt by their split, and she really wanted something more than what she could have had with Kody. I think she mourns the fact that she didn't have that kind of connection. And I think for Janelle, she's just very pragmatic about it, in that with Kody, it's a condition of do what I like and I'll love you. And love is not conditional. It's just not. Love is not, it shouldn't be conditional. Love should be unconditional, especially if you're married. It should be about, I love you, but in spite of, it's not that you have to do everything that your partner wants in order to have a good relationship. You have to be respectful of one another. I mean, that's a good sense of a relationship. But when one partner is saying, if you do what I want you to do, then I'll love you, that's actually kind of a ripe position for abuse. So for her, she's like at this place where she's not going to do that. She's too independent for that. And Robyn is playing that game. But Janelle also thinks that Robyn and Kody have a more complete relationship and that he listens to her more. I think he listens to her more because it's a newer relationship and she's not tired of it yet. I think it's when you've had to deal with it for 20 years, do you really want to deal with it? Do you get tired of playing the game? Do you get tired of jockeying for position in the relationship with him? You know what I'm saying? And then when she was asked about whether or not Robyn is, the helping the family, bridging things together with the family, Janelle doesn't see it that way at all either, because she doesn't see Robyn as a perfect person. Like, that's just not the truth to her. Robyn did things that did divide the family. Absolutely did things that divided the family. She made choices, and Robyn doesn't take accountability for those choices, but she blames other people for their choices. It's kind of ironic if you think about it. Robyn takes no responsibility at all, in fact, in this tell-all.
Robyn was the favorite?
So I felt it.
Okay.
I felt like it was apparent. And to me, it was very apparent from the beginning. But that doesn't make Robyn the scapegoat. It means I think they found each other and they found soulmates in each other. Like where I'm like, I've done everything for you and you can't give this to me. And then he and Robyn met and he was everything for her, it seemed like. And she was also everything for him.
Christine is the kind of woman that has like rose-colored glasses. And so I'm not going to discount what she has to say here, but I also just want to say that I think that if people would have looked at Christine and Kody's relationship when they first met, maybe some of the other sister wives had feelings like she had about Robyn. I mean, Mary said that she struggled a lot with her jealousy towards Christine. I think for Christine, she saw parts of Robyn's personality and maybe the fact that Kody was very attracted to her, something that she didn't have with Kody. Kody was not attracted to her, and he made that very clear to her when they first got married. So I think she was very sensitive to that. I think that what Kody and Robyn found was that Kody found someone that was obedient and compliant, and that Robyn found someone that was going to take care of her and give her what she wanted financially for her kids. And she was willing to play the game in order to get her needs met. I have never seen true love between the two of them. Really, ever. I have not ever seen it. They don't come across to me as a lovey-dovey couple. They don't come across to me as a kind of couple that is in sync with each other. They come across to me as Robyn manipulating Kody to get what she wants out, and by like alienating the other wives, and like Kody by manipulating Robyn to get what he wants. But I think if you remove the wives from the situation, I don't think there's going that lack of friction where they have to fight and have a common enemy. Once that's gone, I don't know that they're going to stay together long. And I think they're both narcissistic. And I think eventually Robyn is going to grow tired of Kody. That's just my opinion. So for Christine saying like, I saw this and I believe it. I mean, I'm sure she did see it and she admits she was jealous. I think once Christine gets further and further removed from the world of polygamy, she'll just realize how unhealthy and dysfunctional Kody and Robyn actually are. Now, Robyn, this is when Robyn gets nasty. And she goes for the jugular.
She was the one that made choices. Janelle's the one that made choices. They handed him to me and said, we don't want to spend time with him, basically, in protecting his family, protecting our jobs, protecting our health. And so it was like, oh yeah, of course he's gonna flourish with my kids, because she had something with Kody. She did not take care of it.
So even here, Robyn doesn't hold Kody accountable for anything. But this is a game. This is not about Robyn loving Kody, because frankly, I didn't hear her say that she loved Kody there, but instead defending him and blaming the wives, which in turn earns favor to Kody. It's a game. She also brings up the fact that Kody was defending their jobs and protecting them from their jobs. But the ironic part here is that TLC used electronic phones, robotic phones that filmed for them and sent them to them, and they filmed a lot of it via their own phones. So it's this idea that they had to protect themselves from poverty. So you mean to say that the wives didn't care about their jobs more than you and Kody? But the producers weren't even there to film half the time. So what are they protecting the producers for and TLC from? It's a red herring argument. But she brings up money as another means of, I think that's important to her. Our jobs. This is a job to her, the show. That's her job. Yeah. Anyways, she then blames Christine and says that Christine didn't take care of it, but said that Christine and Kody had something really sweet. They had a banter. They did. They had a really cute banter. And Robyn doesn't have a banter with anyone because I don't find Robyn funny. But after that, when she says that she didn't take care of it, then Robyn gets nasty. And I mean, she goes so low. I have not heard other wives ever go this low, ever, when it comes to Robyn.
He's had wives reject him affection-wise because they are uncomfortable or they don't like it. That's not who they are. I'm sorry, but if you're rejecting someone's affection, your spouse, I don't see how that's gonna help your relationship. If you're sitting there just constantly nagging at your husband about what you didn't get, then how is he supposed to feel like you see what he's doing for you? Mm-hmm. How is he supposed to feel appreciated?
What? What? Did she just say that the wives were turning down Kody's affection? Is affection what we're terming being joyfully available? Did she just pull a Michelle Duggar? Okay, I'm very confused here because her language here is concerning. First of all, they've always said that they don't speak about these parts of their marriages with their spouse. She says that she doesn't talk to him about the other wives because that doesn't work with him. What do you want to bet that they commiserate and vent to each other? Because how else would she know if he turned them down? unless she was there. Is Kody making propositions to his wives that include adding other wives, but they don't want to do it because it's not them? It's not what they're into. They're not comfortable with it. Is he adding layers of their lives of affection that include other wives, which is something that all of them prior to Robyn didn't want to be a part of? Or is he trying to do things that are beyond their comfort level? Because affection is about consent. And even in the world of kink, consent is always the big thing. You don't do anything to your partner that they don't consent to. And saying no to them isn't an insult. It's about consent. So is Kody respecting them by running to Robyn and complaining that they won't do things? Or is Robyn offended that they turned her down for a threesome? Because this is really concerning, because she's effectively promoting marital R. And then to say that they have no right to express their grievances about how they're treated because it's nagging is, again, keep sweet. She is literally parroting, keep sweet, pray and obey. Do what your husband says, don't complain, do it. And what is she teaching her young daughters about consent and marriage when she says, you just have to give it to your husband, whether or not you're comfortable with it or not? So you're telling me that the wives were supposed to do things they weren't comfortable with it because Kody wanted it? Are you doing things that you're not comfortable with? Are you are you going past your moral compass because Kody wants something that you don't? That's abusive. I want to know what Kody's asking for in the bedroom and what is going on here, because I've talked to former polygamists who say it's pretty common for men to ask their wives to have threesomes. Like, very common. I wouldn't put it past them at this point.
When I came into this family, I knew and I saw that when there's stretch marks and there's weight gain and there's fights or there's money problems or whatever it is, he still had this romance going with each of them. I saw it. I'm like, you had this opportunity. They each have something with him that I do not have. I don't know how to sympathize with it other than, I'm sorry when it's hard. I do understand.
When you're mad at someone and you're frustrated about something and you go low like this, you are literally digging at the bottom of the barrel. What point is there to bring up a woman's weight and stretch marks and say he loved them even though they had weight gain and even though there was stretch marks? When I came into the family, I saw that even though there was weight gain and stretch marks, he loved them. So are you saying that even though they were overweight, he loved them? Like it's something to be grateful for? Oh, so your wife didn't just bear 6 kids for you, completely changing and altering her body, nourishing them through their feedings, caring for them, raising them. Her body didn't go through 6 pregnancies, 6 postpartums. Some of them had miscarriages on top of that. For some of them, they had 8, 9 pregnancies. So you're telling me that it's conditional. So he loved them in spite of the fact that they were overweight. The weight issue has been something that has been an Achilles heel to her. She walked into this marriage and she was little. She was tiny. She had, the last child that she had was like 4 or 5 years before. And she was 30 and she was she was very thin. She still is an attractive woman. She's definitely not as tiny as she once was, but I don't care about that. That's irrelevant to me. Why is she focusing on weight? What does that have to do with them not taking care of their relationship? So now she's saying that you wouldn't put out for him in a way that he wanted. You wouldn't give him the kink or the threesomes that Kody wanted. You denied him that. Then you complained about it and compared him to Robyn. And on top of that, how dare you? He loved you in spite of the fact that you were fat? Did she just say that? These women are all beautiful women. Robyn has been nasty to Janelle about her weight throughout the years. When Sister Wives Closet didn't make enough money on their first expo, they made like $500. And Janelle said she wasn't really interested in doing it because it wasn't a sustainable business venture. The first place that Robyn went with Janelle was about her weight and developing a plus line clothing line. And Janelle's face at that point was like of disgust.
I don't feel like that you're invested in it. I don't feel like you're doing anything for it.
I don't want to design jewelry.
I've been begging you to do the plus size clothing line because it's something that is your niche. You want these pieces. I know you do.
See, I just don't know.
Robyn said to her, I have been begging you to develop the Sister Wives plus size clothing line. These are pieces I know you want. And Robyn is like, because Janelle said she didn't want to design jewelry. So the minute Janelle says that she's not interested in doing something, the first place she goes is to insult her indirectly through a backhanded compliment about plus size clothing. This is what she's done. She also tried on all the clothes. Remember, she was like the skinny one that got to try on the dresses for the commitment ceremony. She has no problem bringing up weight, but it's when she uses it in this way, it's obvious what she cares about. In her own breath, in season 3, they all go to work out to get less fat, according to Mary. Those were like her words. And Robyn says that Kody doesn't like skinny girls. He likes curvy girls. So she says that being thin doesn't give her a leg up.
Kody told me in a very nice way at one point that he actually likes curvy girls. And I'm really not a curvy girl. So it's not really like, oh, I've got some sort of upper hand with this whole situation.
So what is it? Is it that he doesn't like curvy girls, or he doesn't like thin girls, or he likes curvy girls, or that he really does like thin girls and he doesn't like curvy girls? Which one is it, Robyn? Which lie are we telling today? And why does it matter? Why are you going to their looks? Is that all that matters to you? Is that what you're focusing on? Then with COVID, when they were talking about high risks, it was not ever lost on people that Robyn was hyper-focused on Janelle. She alluded to this multiple times because of her size, was at high risk for having a complication with the virus because COVID affected individuals with a higher BMI.
I've had pneumonia and I'm a high risk because I've had pneumonia. I actually believe there are other members of our family that are high risk too. I don't know if it's my place to say it.
The reason I know that she's talking about Janelle in that regard is because why wouldn't it be her place to say it? Unless it had to do with something like weight. Because you don't talk about other people's weight. It's rude. It's rude. You do not talk about other people's weight. You don't do it. She says that she was high risk because she had pneumonia. I had pneumonia. I was not high risk. I've had pneumonia multiple times. Robyn was just trying to find a way to make herself like, I got to be protected, Kody. You have to protect me. I need rules. You know what I'm saying? But the reason she's talking about Janelle is because the whole fight that day was about Janelle wanting to have a party for Hunter and them believing that Janelle wasn't taking it seriously. I believe that there's people in this family that are high risk, but I don't know if it's my place to say it. But you just did, Robyn. You just did. The irony here is that Janelle, when she got COVID, was less sick than Robyn. But Robyn had to point out that Janelle was high risk, but she didn't say the name. She just did it backhanded. So Robyn is hyper fixated on the fact of Janelle's weight. What does that say about Robyn? It says that she's petty, she's mean, and this is her. She's body shaming. She can't say anything about Janelle because Janelle's intelligent, Janelle's smart, Janelle has an intellectual relationship with Kody that she doesn't have. Janelle is independent. So what can she go at Janelle? Her weight. And it's disgusting. I don't cover Janelle's weight loss or weight gain. I don't cover Christine's weight loss or weight gain or Mary's because frankly, I think they're all beautiful. To me, I don't care what size they are. They're beautiful women, they have value, and it's not contingent on their size. I don't care. But Robyn does. And this is another reason why they probably don't like her. How do you trust someone that's judging you in that way? And what does that say about you, Robyn? That you value yourself only based on your looks and that Kody's only going to like you based on your looks? Well, later on in this tell-all, she refers to him as her best customer, which almost sounds like she's a prostitute. So maybe looks are what matters to her in the work of selling yourself for money, right? You got to look good for your customers. Well, let's talk about that later. But for now, what are your thoughts about Robyn going this low? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.